Hello, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. Welcome to an edition of MotiveWave. Boy, oh boy, MotiveWave has been a good tool to have as a platform. I don't know where to begin. So, what I do right now is I trade crypto and Forex. A lot of people are going on about the doom and gloom of crypto, but meanwhile, here I am. We'll just check out the current state of markets. I mean, look, Waves is up yet again, twice, three times last week. It's up already 20%, and that's a big failure in my books, indeed. Cardano's up 3%, Neo's up 1.95%. So, um, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of cryptos out there that are not doing too good, but when you look at these uh, percentages, they're doing pretty good. Of course, we have Forex as well. Forex is a little weird when it comes to I just got to set it up properly. I shouldn't say it's more my fault, but you can see here the percentage of moves in Forex is not that strong compared to. There's another alert coming in. Um, we got. Let me just see here. Okay, so we have 0.5% move here on Australia and Japanese yen. USD is not doing too good, except the USD Japanese yen up 0.27%. Here's a top six. I mean, the biggest is what I just said. That lot. GBP is not doing too good either, 0.25% in Japanese yen. So something's happening in the markets I haven't been following yet or updated myself for earlier today. So overall, the markets in Forex are not too strong compared to some of the pairs that we've got with crypto. So what you're looking at, a couple of things I need to highlight here is I have the capabilities of any chart I show in MotiveWave, like along here. We have Dash, BTC, Waves, all of these. I can instantly now publish this to my Dropbox, which I now make available to my quant analytics members. So that's almost instantly. I've been at this for, close to 10 years, and a lot of people cannot get across what we call the finish line. With this feature in MotiveWave, it has the ability definitely to give you access to exactly what I'm trading here and set yourself up. The only problem is, of course, as usual in trading, it's timing. So with this, I'm still trying to figure out how to automate. I don't know if you guys have been watching my overall um, MotiveWave video playlist on YouTube at Quant Labs, but I've come across a couple of patterns. So let me talk about these studies. So in the world of MotiveWave, they call them studies. So it's another way if you're used to, let's say, MetaTrader or some other platform. It's another way of saying indicators, really. So what I have here is I have a regression channel. So these are the white lines, either up or down. We also have the Ichimoku. It's not quite the Ichimoku, but it is called, where is it? Ichimoku Kinko Hayo. Sorry about the pronunciation, but that's been doing really good because what it gives you in the out of box study, it gives you the entry signals right here, which I've been using. The sell signals can be useful, but they do break down. So what I do right now for a little simple strategy I've got is I have let's say in this case, some waves, this 20% move it looks like. You can see here that this is the entry right here, and then the exit can be when it hits 70. So it'll exit here, but it'll still have these run-up situations where, um, I still got to figure out those because, my God, we don't want to prematurely kick ourselves out of trades just because of a simple exit like an RSI when it hits 70. So there's a lot of powerful options here with these studies. And the other one, of course, I use the RSI. So those are the three studies I use: is the regression channel for now, Ichimoku, and the RSI. So there's no programming. Well, there is programming involved, but in terms of the studies themselves, I'm not really programming anything. Everything's all out of box. So if I showed you this study right here, you can see the amount of detailed info that we have parameters over through this user profile. We can set up the colors of these different lines. We have upper markers. We can also enable these as well. We have the ability to generate signals. So this Tenkan crossed above the Kijin. That's the entry markers and cell markers that I was talking about. These guys, the up and down markers. So those are enabled. And then the other important one that I use is send email. So what I have is I have a Python listeners in Python that will process the order, or sorry, process the signal and then send it out for two purposes. One, for my quant analytic members. On top of it, will also do its own position management as well. So send out the order and manage the exit as well. And that's 100% in Python, because with MotiveWave, you cannot trade in crypto. You can trade in everything else, all the other asset classes except in crypto. So right now, that's what I built last week, and it seems to work okay. So what will happen is, let's say this signal gets generated, and then that email goes out to my Python listener, which is right here, listening for that, and it will send out the orders, and it's 100% in Python, and it can also handle the exit as well. So the MotiveWave does not do any orders for crypto, but it'll do orders for everything else. Now, if you are not a strong programmer, what you can do also is, let me set up this chart. You can set up alerts. So in alerts, what you can do is you can obviously either do one of two things, is either create an alert, and then you have all your conditions that are met, which are similar to the signal. So if it crosses a certain value, let's say, you can show the alert, play these sounds, send an email, like as so. This is an alert here on NeoUSD where it's done that cross over. Let's just take a look at it. So I'll just create a new chart here. So the USD, US dollar. And what that will do is that will obviously open up the chart. So we have two, looks like entries here using these Ichimoku I just showed you, and the entries right along here. So there was an entry, and then it looks like a cross below the threshold. So, these are very good. So as I was saying about the alert, so you create your alert, so you can have your condition met. You can have different time zones as well when it will trade over a 24-hour period. And then here you can also put the trade from within your MotiveWave when it meets that condition or meets that or gets the signal generated. And you can also just do it for signal generation and manually go in and buy or sell if you're watching the alert as well. And then you have many different types of orders here. And here you have limit, stop order, and then trail as well, which obviously is going to be a popular option. So that's what we're looking at. There's a lot of cool stuff with MotiveWave. I cannot deny that. As I said as well, I could publish this chart right now as here, and then I could log into my quant analytics and be able to retrieve that chart, that analysis file, and import it as such here, where I import that analysis file, and then that enables me to have what you're seeing here in your own MotiveWave. The only things that you need to be sure of is that you have the data provider. I'm using crypto, it's free. If you're using something like Awanda, I use Awanda for Forex, so I can generate that analysis file. and then you get access to it, and then you have the ability to import it into your MotiveWave trading environment and have the exact same analysis that I have right now here. And you can do all that within a few seconds. And the only thing is, I might use some studies that might be only available in certain editions. So if people can afford, I would strongly recommend to get the Ultimate Edition. It's not obviously a cheap price, but for what it can do, it's a cheap price, believe me. And then say I'm doing something like this, the Hearst cycles, and you import that into a lower edition MotiveWave. I don't think you'll get the Hearst cycle showing up because you don't have the proper edition of MotiveWave to see those analysis studies. So I always make sure whatever I'm using the Ultimate, and whatever studies I'm using, you need to make sure that you have the edition that can display those studies. Now, what can you get with these files? So the feature's called the repository. So everything's included when I send over an analysis file. Includes all my preferences, window layouts, watch list, which I'm showing, the scan results, which I'm showing, the chart templates, and the global alerts. So again, it's one of the only platforms that I've seen that gives you the ability to get access to what I do, go into my membership area in the Quant Analytics, and then be able to download that file instantly and then import it right into your trading environment called MotiveWave. So it's a pretty powerful feature. And there's other things as well I could do. I could import over a pack of analysis files if I wanted, and I can also back up my entire MotiveWave environment, and then you just go in and restore that version. But again, you got to make sure you have the proper level of MotiveWave for the studies that I use, as well as the data providers as well. Any questions so far? So I've been talking about the analytics today. Today's the last day on this. So what I've got is I've got a sale on right now for the Quant Analytics. It's right now, I believe, $100. It's pretty good. And if you go under store here, um, and it's right here under Quant Analytics Shop now. So I've got a 3-month deal. If you want, I'll give an extra 2 months. That ends today. Because of this new feature, I've got other guys using MotiveWave that are charging up to $250, $300 per month for this same capability. They don't do programming like I do. They're not nearly as active as I am. And the thing is that, for what you're getting here, it's a steal. Later in the week, I'll be getting into consulting as well. That's once I fill up those slots. Hopefully, these type of services will obviously be going up in price over the next couple of weeks, probably the next month. Also, I've got the programming elite as well, so I'm going to shut up about that. Any questions so far? If you guys got anything? I know it's a small group. I appreciate you guys coming aboard here. There's a lot of other powerful features that I love about MotiveWave. I could go on and on. If you want to see a feature, just let me know. Obviously, MotiveWave is not just about trading itself. It's very powerful in that with the charting, and on top of that, you do have the capabilities of programming in MotiveWave. For instance, here it's all done in Java. There is an SDK in MotiveWave, so I'm still at that experimental stage with MotiveWave for the SDK, the software development kit, and you can build your own strategies. You can build your own studies from it. In here, what they've done with MotiveWave, again, is something that is very beneficial, and it's a steal when it comes to what they provide, is they provide all the source code for each study. So if you see a study you like, chances are there will be source code for it, so you can use that as a basis to work with a particular study. And and as I said, there's over 260 70 plus studies. So here you can see they're all divided up into um, separate sections here. So we have 80 line, Chaikin, money flow. Here's an example. So you do get the source code, which is pretty rare. It's pretty powerful. Out of that, you can then extend those studies into actual working strategies. So they provide a few working copies. So here, let's say the relative strength indicator study, you could you use the RSI study, and then you could build a strategy around that. So I've done some experimentation with that. Fairly new at it. It's pretty straightforward. You can customize your own charts, your own type of orders, on and on it goes. But again, not a lot of people are programmers, so that capability does exist. I mean, it's utterly powerful what it can do. And the beautiful thing I like about MotiveWave, you're not dealing with some proprietary language like, let's say, easy language with TradeStation, MetaTrader with MQL 3 and 4, sorry, 4 and 5, or TOS, Thinkorswim. Here you're using Java, and the thing is with Java, now that you can include third-party Java archive files, you can then link that into other popular Java libraries. For instance, TensorFlow for machine learning. So you can build that. I have built one strategy that will interface with my Redis, so I could use Redis, the database, to link everything together and put everything into the data hub of Redis, the database, which is a NoSQL database, and then have other programming languages talk to the Redis, and then have all my analysis and just push everything into Redis, and then have other listeners to listen to those orders. And that's what I'm doing with Python here with this guy right now. So it's checking the database for any potential signals. So this is still being built out. So right now, if I reload this, there's going to be all these potential positions right now that the Python can manage and open, and then control the exit, build the exit logic around that. So that's a lot of the exciting stuff that moving forward for both the Quant Elite as well as the MotiveWave service. It's becoming more like MotiveWave now for the Quant Analytics. So that's as I said, one of the huge reasons why I went with MotiveWave, because of these capabilities are so powerful, but yet very easy to use. I haven't seen any real bugs of any kind, like in terms of quality of the software is quite good. There's some limitations here and there, but I always find workarounds for it, which is a good sign of a smartly architected piece of software, which this, to me, is. The chartings, I've not seen anything like the charting on this. I've not shown you the components here that you can manually draw out. Trend lines, let's say let me pull up a clean chart here. So I'm going to pull up, I don't know, let me think here, the Ethereum BTC, let's say, or better yet, this Australian dollar. Okay, so hopefully we got a clean chart. If not, it might have some studies. I can get rid of them. Wow. That's a pretty bad chart. Let me try another one. Ethereum and USD. Hopefully this will be a little easier. Okay, so we've got some. So I'll get rid of these studies here. I think there's a clearer local. No, it doesn't work. But let me just pull up. I'm going to get rid of these indicators here. So, okay, we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this one. Okay, so here we are. We got a clean chart. Here's some more alerts. We'll ignore those for now. So here you could put together like all these different components here. Okay, you have Fibonacci, you have Gann charts, Elliott wave markers, harmonics, which I really like. I like Fibonacci as well. But let me just show you something simple. So let's say you have you create a trend line right here, crosses the trend line, boom, right? And what you can also do is you can create alerts around that. So let me just see here. I know there's a way to do this. I don't do this a lot. Yeah, right here. So you can create an alert for this particular quote unquote component. So you can create a condition here, crosses the trend line or touches or above, whatever you want, and has labeling, so you could send custom emails. You can also, again, with these components, build trades around these alerts. So what that means, even though it's a simple trend line, what you can do here, it's again, really, really powerful, where if I get rid of, let me just see if there's a hotkey for this guy. There we go. All right, so again, I've done a comparison between Elliott waves and harmonics. Elliott waves, I'll just say, are okay, but harmonics seem to be more reliable than Elliott waves. So Gartley's a popular one. So let me just pull out that. So here's going to go out looking for if there's any pattern. Can't find it. Okay, but if you wanted to generate a Fibonacci level, Fibonacci retracement, if it's in here, there's so much to this. It's just, I haven't played with a lot of it, but it's just an unreal. There you go. So here's the Fibonacci retracement. Okay, so if you're like me who likes Fibonacci, if you're more high, let's see here, it's high. Boy, I'm not very good at my artistic skills here. And then we'll do the low right here. So there's our Fibonacci levels for this particular point here or here. And then again, you can build alerts, I believe, around certain components. Doesn't look like you can do alerts for here, but it's so much. It's incredible what you can do. And again, I've not seen this for any platform, and how easy it is to use as well. One of the other powerful features that I use a lot, which I should do, is scanning. So here, I'm going to do a new scan. I've set up this particular watch list called Binance Harmonics, because I'm using the crypto and trade with Binance, the largest exchange in the world. And then I can do these fancy scans against all my instruments. So I have 32 instruments here in crypto. And then again, I can make this stuff available to people's trading environments with MotiveWave. I mean, it's that powerful. So again, being able to do this, it's just unreal how easy it is. But to program it, I'll just say good luck with it, because this is done quite literally out of box and done in seconds. So what I do here is I look for excellent scores. So I'll go through this. So just so you know, what I'm looking for are targets where the target is higher than the price. So in a lot of cases, you'll get the target below the current price, which I don't want, because you cannot short on Binance. I mean, you probably could through some wonky margin account, but right now I just keep it simple, and I just want to see only targets where the target is higher than the current price. So in this case, we have the blue. Let me see if this is not one thing. These are 4-hour charts. So if I look at a 1-day chart, you'll see the pattern here, which is in the blue. So you have these A, B, C, and somewhere in there will be a D. Target just depends upon the harmonic, but usually I'm going after the C, which is the latest point or most recent point, where I want to see that to be higher than the current price. So in this case, XRP, that target is higher than the current price, so I might consider that as a put on my chart or watch list of charts, and then apply templates, and then be able to build signals out of that. So if I look at Bitcoin USD, You can see here that the target is, here's the point D, so the target is lower than the current price, which means there's going to be downward moves. So I'm not really interested in that. So here with Ethereum Classic, it's saying, again, I'll do a daily chart here. You can see that the point D right here is the target is higher than the price. So I may be interested in this particular pair, Ethereum Classic and Bitcoin. And I've been watching this, and this has been doing really good last week. The other thing that is, well, we'll call it compelling, is when you get two harmonics for the same pair, and it's an excellent score. So this may be a really good pair to watch. You can see here in August it moved up. There's a couple of other ones that moved up last month, and this has been a really cool little pair. Again, BCH against Bitcoin's another good one. XMR, which is Monero, below the target, and Cardano. So when you look at this batch, out of that, you may see Cardano might be a good one, Bitcoin Cash may be a good one, and Ethereum Classic against Bitcoin may be a good one as well. So when you look at overall the overall watch list right now, you could probably say, Ethereum Classic is not doing too bad. It's up 0.5%. Bitcoin Cash and USD is not doing too bad. And same with Cardano, that came up too, and that's up 2.74%. So the scanning can be really useful, and it can filter out all the good ones, and you could still kind of work with the ones that give you a very good analysis as well. But I just focus on the excellent ones, because when you're deploying cash, you want to work with the stuff that gives you the highest probability of a better return than the ones that will give you a score of very good, if you know what I mean. And you can do the same thing in the Forex as well. So if I run a scan on the Forex as well, we've got, I don't know how many pairs we've got here. So we got 37 instruments. So I could do a scan on here on the Forex as well, and do the same thing. But with Forex, I can look for both shorting. Like here, you can see here's a nice harmonic here on a daily chart. Well, it might not be right, but it's just a gauge to help you say, maybe here we have a deep crab harmonic. Here we have another one of an excellent score, a shark as well. That may be good. It just depends upon your gut and how you feel about it, based upon your experience of how you feel about these particular harmonics, if they work for you. In this case, obviously, it's saying it's lower than the price target. But I've played around with this, and I know that the Australian, the Canadian dollar can be really good. That's a good trade. That was doing really well for me last week. Here we have the euro, US dollar again. And the nice thing is we don't have to do long in Forex. We can focus on the shorting opportunities here. So if it's saying that here the short target would be around a buck, buck 68, I believe, or whatever it is, right? And that's for the end of January. So there's a lot of things you can play around with. Here are the euro Australian dollar. Again, this is how I discovered that the Australian dollar is an amazing currency to trade, and it's been doing really well last week, all because of the scanning capability. Same with the franc. That might be a shorting opportunity. This could be a longing opportunity, so on and so forth. And that's just quick analysis on using harmonics right here. And again, I did that in my Python, and it was pretty strong in the Python. But here it's so much easier with Forex, well, especially for Forex. And again, if I go into MotiveWave, do understand that MotiveWave can pretty well talk to anything. I mean, it's interactive brokers if you want, and that's pretty well all of the popular futures brokers and interactive brokers, all the popular Forex brokers as well. Like I said, Gain, FXCM, Oanda, all the futures brokers, so on and so forth. So, and then there's also the data providers as well. So the one I like is IQFeed, which is really good. So, I mean, I'm telling you, when I got excited with using Python and using CCXT as a Python package, where it was a Python wrapper to over 100 plus crypto exchanges, I thought that was brilliant. Here, when you got a powerful trading platform that gives you access to all these data providers and brokers, that means you can build trading strategies um, in MotiveWave and just change your workspace to change your data provider or change your broker. And you don't have to change your coding. You don't have to change your studies that you're using or changing any of your visuals because it's all shielded and all the hard work and all the heavy lifting is done within MotiveWave. And this is the powerful thing about MotiveWave, where it will save you literally, I'll even say thousands of hours, which it will. And at the same time, being able to build strategies around and automate your strategies for you. Here, as I said, uh, you know, you can build out strategies. Same thing that looks like a study, where you have all the parameters you want. You can customize them all you want, and then when you create them, what'll happen is you'll get this new panel here, and just activate it, and it's off to the races to start automate your trading. So those are pretty powerful features in MotiveWave. And the thing is, with MotiveWave, they're adding new providers to the marketplace, and there's some really good ones out there already. So I don't know. I think to me, MotiveWave's an easy sell, and as it's trading in the background right now. Any questions so far? As I said, I appreciate you guys being aboard here. I could go on about MotiveWave. If you want a copy of MotiveWave, all you got to really do is go to MotiveWave.com directly. If you want to go through me, I am a partner. I do have the MotiveWave, the link on my website, so that will, if you do decide to buy, obviously I get a little percentage for that, and it helps me. Well, it helps me in the eyes of MotiveWave as well, because the more sales I drive, the better benefits we get over the long run for maybe, I don't know, any potential things that MotiveWave might be able to give my group versus any of their other partners. But that's just something that could happen. Who knows? But again, that's up to you. So here we are. Let's talk about the analytics service now. So as I said earlier, the repository feature is very powerful. So I'm able to publish the alerts. So I've added this on the weekend here. If you come into the Quant Analytics dashboard, we now have two new options in the pull-down menu: MotiveWave Repo Download and MotiveWave Repo Upload. So for instance, if there's a pair that I go, oh man, this is a great looking pair, you should jump on it. So if I go into, let's say in the crypto, I don't know, let's see if there's a chart here we can work with. Okay, let's say it's this one, and I go, and I publish it just like this. Okay, I go save to here. So that pair is called, what was the pair? So that's Ethereum USD. So if I go into here, go under here, under the analytics dashboard, MotiveWave Repo Download, okay, and hopefully this will work. So here we are. So here's a navigation on my Dropbox that this particular version of MotiveWave is connected to. So that analysis file, it would be in here. Okay, so it's under cryptocurrency, and then all you gotta do is look for Ethereum USD, this one right here. All right, and you just pull down this primary analysis MWML file and then import that into your MotiveWave. That's it. You're ready to go. and then you have your analysis file downloaded and imported back into your into your uh, into your MotiveWave. I mean, I don't know any other platform that offers that, where you can basically, I can publish to this repository on my analytics, and then you have the capabilities to download it and then import it instantly within your your own MotiveWave version. There's a lot of other things I could put up there as well. So in here, as I said, we have Forex as well. So if I publish anything in the Forex as well, I can. I only have 3, but let's say here in the Forex, let's say if I have this Canadian franc for whatever reason is doing really well, I could just do the same thing and publish it. Okay, and then come under here. Let's say I have to refresh. Now it's Canadian CHF. Let's see here. So go back to here. It doesn't look like it for some reason, but not sure what's going on, but we'll definitely get that fixed up. But yeah, but that can be applied to any asset class, any instrument that I'm watching, and be able to make that available to everybody in the quant analytics. It's pretty powerful. Another feature I got up running about a week ago was the. Let me just go back to the dashboard here. So what I've got running as well is, I'm just going to go back to where I was. Okay. All right. So, okay, let me see if I can find out the signals dashboard. Okay, so under the signals dashboard, if I go under this month, let's see here. Okay, so right here we have a couple of signals that were generated since we started this webinar. So here is what's generated today, being obviously December 16th, time at 12:30. Here, this pair, crypto, LSK, BTC, crossed what I just showed you earlier, the Ichimoku, this Tenkan crossed the above the Kijin. So that's basically saying it's crossed above a certain line in the Ichimoku, we have an entry. And then here's the last price, here's the value, so on and so forth. So that is available, and that actually now gets emailed to you as well. Just got to add you to the list. Okay, so Pisor asks, Pisor question. Suppose you have Trade Now version of MotiveWave. Are there any available studies or useful indicators you can use? Are there any free data providers we can use, MotiveWave, so we can play around and learn the platform before we move to more expensive version of MotiveWave? Yeah, there's a lot here. Okay, so in MotiveWave, what you can do here is under the brokers, there's 2 options you have if you want to play around with some stuff. What you could depends. The first thing I ask, what do you want to trade? So let's say you just want to do just to play around with, but not trade. You can do, as I said, the crypto compare and play around with that. You just got to go into coin compare, and if you want to do crypto, you got to go into coin compare and get an API license. That's what you need to play around with MotiveWave. Also, I haven't done this yet, but with interactive brokers, you could do the same thing with a demo mode. I know for sure with Awanda, you can get a live account with Awanda for Forex, create that, get your token and secret keys, plug those into MotiveWave as well on the login when you create the Awanda workspace. So you can play around with demo accounts for both any of the brokers on top of MotiveWave. When you download MotiveWave, it's you get the Ultimate Edition, and it's a 14-day trial. So you can also play around with MotiveWave as well for the 14-day version. And the thing is, I should mention this as well. I do realize that a lot of people might not have the cash for something. So here under free trial, you can get the 14-day 14-day trial with MotiveWave. Okay, so that you can definitely do as well. And what was I going to say? So again, you get the full Ultimate Edition as well. Oh, the pricing, the products. So what I was going to say about this is there's 4 editions of MotiveWave. Okay, there's a standard, trade, professional, and ultimate. Okay, the standard version is pretty good. For all the stuff that I've shown you, you get in the standard version. So you get harmonics, you get the 270 plus studies, you get a lot of bang for this price. A lot of bang. But again, also do understand, as it says, it's for market analysis. Okay, so you can do the charting and stuff. There's also this one as well. I think this is around $500, $595 US. And then that will give you more enhanced charting. Like for instance, it'll give you, I believe it gives you the here we go. Gives you a few extra charts. But if you want to start trading live, you got to move into these more expensive editions here, the professional, and then obviously the ultimate as well. So, and the thing is, you can pay by month for these as well, like $25. Like that's a dinner, you know what I mean, out in a restaurant, or a fancy dinner, $50 a month. So you can do a lot at different price points that are affordable. And as you grow your trading, you grow your account, you can then move into the higher editions if you want. So yeah, you definitely can do that. Hopefully I'll help you out. So yeah, MotiveWave is built for all different price levels, but you can do a lot with the standard edition. Just the 250, I believe it is. Yeah, 245 US. You can do a lot with that. Okay, you're not doing live trading, but with my stuff, as I said, I've got the solution. If you wanted to do live trading with crypto, you could do it with that version as well. To do live trading with crypto, to get the source code in Python. I just put that out last week as well. A lot of things I did last week. So, there's a lot of stuff I've got. I've got live alerts, live signals being sent out via email. I have the repository feature. If you don't even want to get into programming, I've got all the source code available through the Quant Elite stuff. So I have that. And the other thing I mentioned in a video on Saturday is that I'm not yet. It's going to take me a couple of months, but I do plan to look at MATLAB again, because MATLAB for machine learning and with the GUI tools, the same kind of idea as what MotiveWave has, without the hardcore programming, is you can get into machine learning and do some very, very powerful things with machine learning in MATLAB, and then connect everything together, because you can connect everything together through Java code that you can code generate from MATLAB. So everything can talk to each other from MATLAB to MotiveWave via Java, or you can just pump it into Redis as well, as I demonstrated, and get other languages involved as well if you're a hardcore programmer. So there's a lot going on here. I don't think of anything that I can show with the power that MotiveWave offers, on top of, if you're familiar with MATLAB as well, with MATLAB. But I'm not going to get into MATLAB for a while. I want to get trading accounts, getting trading accounts working, and get those up and running as well. And then once I'm happy with everything, then I'll start looking at machine learning. Probably not for, could be a year for all I know, maybe 6 months, I don't know. But MATLAB is on deck for that. If you guys got any other questions, let me know. I mean, like I said, I could go on and on. There's so much to show on MotiveWave, plus with what I do. It's a lot. Just depends upon what people want. And I think right now, moving forward after this sale, I'm going to do a couple of more sales. I'll be moving and putting a lot of more of my time into mentoring and uh, consulting and setting up. Oh, no problem, Viceroy, no problem. We welcome. I will be moving into consulting and mentoring people um, to have their own custom trading platforms set up with their own trading ideas implemented using MotiveWave, and they can be part of the community as well that I'm building out as well, because I also have the private chat server as well, where people can talk freely, anonymously, and not worry about third parties tracking them, that sort of thing. So there's that benefit as well with all this fun stuff. Um, if you're kind of new to the world, a lot of people ask about how do I get started in crypto. I have a course if you want to know how to build a trading bot in Python. I have that as well. So it's I would think is affordable for what you get. I'll walk you through how to build a trading bot for cryptocurrency as well. And that gives you all the components that you need for Python because, as I said, this bot right here, which it kind of is, that interfaces with MotiveWave, listening to the signals coming out of MotiveWave via email. I can then post that again into my quant analytics section on top of doing the live orders as well. So a lot of cool stuff here. So again, you can see the alerts are happening as we speak. I can take a look at this, chart it, see what's going on, and you know, there's a lot of power to this, and it's not that difficult to use. I mean, it would take you maybe realistically a couple of weeks to know the ins and outs. So right here we have an entry going live right now with this LSK BTC. That's an alert that's generated or a signal's generated, and look at the price move already. It's that's a 15-minute chart. So we've now identified that as a breakout while we're on this stream. These are opportunities that happen 24/7, especially in the world of crypto. And again, when you see that kind of breakout, I mean that's awesome, and that's the Ichimoku picked that up perfectly. And then I could have my Python track that for the exit. So here, when you look at you look at what's going on in crypto, it's pretty bad. There's a lot of red, a lot of not big moves, but this LSK is moving, and that I just showed you is a breakout. Um, I just showed you. Let's see, LSK. Actually, I should make that available for people. So again, right now, if you wanted to import that analysis, all you have to do is now it's available for my quant analytics folks to import that MotiveWave into their environment. They can track it and maybe even make some trades out of that. That can happen 24/7. That's powerful, and that's in a market it's looking pretty weak right now in the world of crypto. And there's constantly opportunities like that. You got Cardano right now, ADA, and Waves moving here 17%. That's did that twice, 3 times last week, and it's doing it again today. So again, there's lots of opportunities there. I find it pretty exciting, and I think this can make back money in the next few months. And as you apply your knowledge with MotiveWave and what I got, you'll be doing pretty good. And then you can stand on your own and say, hey, you know what I mean? That's the thing is that if you notice here, as I said, I'm trying to build community here. Let me just show you that what I just had here. Let's see here. Right here under the analytics, not only can you download the analysis files for MotiveWave, but I also provide, if you want to upload MotiveWave analysis files as well, and that'll be put into my Dropbox and I can make them available to people. So it's really trying to really build out a true community here for not a lot of money, I would think. So as I was saying, I'm getting more into consulting and mentoring, and that's gonna be honest, I don't think that'll be a cheap option for people. But I've been doing this for 10 plus years, and there's people out there. They want to. How do I do this? How do I do that? I want to build this. I want to build that. And yet, I've struggled with trying to either say, well, you could build it yourself by doing this Python course or doing this other stuff. A lot of people can't finish it because it's too overwhelming. The other thing is that they have a trading idea, but they're not a programmer. They don't want to put the work in to understand Python, which I get. Once I started doing a test, here's Cardano moving now. Um, there's an entry in there somewhere, I think. Yeah, it's broken through the RSI. So, as I was saying, though, with people generating the ideas, usually I can find a study combined with all their other indicators or studies with the exact parameters that they want. Usually, I can build it visually in MotiveWave, and I'm like looking at it. I'm going, why have all this complication when we already got something as simple as two studies, the Ichimoku with the regression, with the RSI, working. It's simple. It generates profit consistently. You don't have to go more complicated than that, but some people like to do the complications. And, if I was to build it for somebody, it costs them a lot of money. And they say no. So steer them in the where the simplicity comes in. But the thing is, with all these studies, there's just so many of them. Look at them. Yeah. I mean, half of them, or 75% of them, you never heard of. But there's just so much here. It's just crazy. And you can build strategies out of these as well. Here's the one I built. This weird one. I haven't looked at in a while, but when I got first MotiveWave, I was like, oh, this is cool. I can build strategies and studies. So I built one. And then I started learning more and more about MotiveWave. I'm like, I don't need to build this stuff and to code it up because a lot of it's just visual. As I said, you just use alerts and studies and email and send out signals via email. And if I wanted to do it all in Python, it'll make my life a lot easier as well. So there's a lot of flexibility here. Who's got any other questions out of the three of us? I appreciate it. If not, I'll be doing another webinar next week, Monday. I believe that's going to take us to December 23rd, 2 days away from Christmas and 1 day before Christmas Eve. So I'll do one webinar. There's always going to be somebody out there who want to maybe learn something here. I'll gladly do it at 12 noon. And I'll do one the following Monday as well, which would be the 30th. And I'm going to probably put a plan together for the early part of 2020 on that, and then do next week a topic of what I'm going to call your best Christmas present to yourself, which is this, because this is what will enable you to control your future, build up your own retirement, and as we enter into phase, I've now just heard 2 people lost their jobs in the last week or two. Corporations don't care about, they're going to lay people off a week, 2 weeks before Christmas. Corporations don't care about that. So people are losing their jobs. So people are going to need to find new, diverse ways of income. And I think trading obviously is one of the best, even better than real estate if you want my opinion. And get started in this, and you can evolve it into a full-time thing, because I had one guy 2 weeks ago talk to an ex-Goldman Sachs trader, and this guy, he's a friend, and he must have spent a lot of time with his Goldman Sachs, guy. Let me see if I can find the article with this guy. I don't know how long or whatnot, but he gave me some tips that I posted on the blog on where to go to make really big, fantastic wealth. Okay, and where do you think that is? That's in the futures market. Man, I gotta learn how to type today. Let's see if I can find that article. A lot of people didn't pay attention to this, which I'm kind of surprised with, but I'll put it here. But he's Goldman Sachs. Here's the article. So basically, if you always hear about these stories about people wanting to go from 5,000 to 50,000 in short order, where you go for that is in uh, is in futures, currencies and futures. I would even say options as well, because you can get returns of like 5, 6 times. And you know what? The recession, even if it turns into a depression in World War III, the markets will still always operate. And the other thing is you're dealing with something like the CME, which is heavily regulated in the U.S., highly liquid, no matter what happens. And if you focus on the new micro minis, e mini micros for the either the indices or the currencies, you can get started in the futures market for very low entry points of contracts of a couple $100, including the margin requirement. Here, when you look at this BS of Forex and retail Forex with bucket shops, I'm not going to name names here. I don't need their lawyers coming after me, but they are corrupt. I mean, you look at FXCM, who got booted out of the U.S., but yet they still operate internationally. I had a guy last week come to me about some trading idea on FXCM. He's got a bot, and he wanted to let me know what he thought. He came out of that conversation deflated because he did not know that FXCM was booted out of the U.S. So how can you trust a broker that's been booted out and banned in the U.S., but yet that same broker is now in the U.K. or now in Canada where I am? People don't know this, and then they go, "Oh my God!" And then he put in a year of coding into the strategy for FXCM. Now, I don't know if he's going to move forward with it, but you got to ask yourself, do you trust the broker that you're with? And this is the thing that people don't understand. But yet, let's say you work with something like MotiveWave, develop a trading strategy in MotiveWave, and you get this news that FXCM, is banned in the U.S. Now you don't want to work with FXCM. Well, your strategy is still good. As I said, you just point your strategy to a new broker, a legitimate broker, maybe Interactive Brokers or something else, Oanda maybe, I don't know, but you got to factor these things in because there's a lot of letdown here. I just got an email again from another guy on Saturday who spent, I don't know how much. He's gone through 2 programmers coding up stuff, and the programmers can't do the strategy. They can't do what's expected of them. Not 1, but 2. I don't know how much money's been put into it. But I told the guy, I go, look at MotiveWave. Let MotiveWave do the heavy lifting for you. Because you have, as I said, you have the studies here. You have the source code. You can, even before you get to that point, you can visually test your trading idea with MotiveWave. And you probably be able to, chances are, play around with the standard edition, the 250, for nothing. And you can save yourself a ton of time with that. And if you get better, you can get into, no problem, GB, you got to go. You get into another, I'm going to end it in a minute anyway. So, but you can get into using MotiveWave for all the different stuff on that. So we'll leave it at that. Anybody else got any questions? As I said, I'm going to do another webinar on Monday, 12 noon. 2 days before Christmas, so we'll do that as well. Any other questions, guys? Thanks for being part of it. It was good, man. But thanks for being part of this. I'll put this video replay for other people. If you are interested in my stuff, like I said, if you want to get 2 bonuses, join the Quant Analytics as well. Just putting that out there if you want. All right, so if there's no other questions from Pisor, GB's says dropping off. Anybody? Okay, I'll do it going once, twice, 3 times. I go in once, I go in twice, go in 3 times. So we're done. If I don't talk to you guys, have a good Christmas season and have a good Happy New Year. And hopefully 2020 is good for you if you do decide to get into trading or building your account and whatnot. So we'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching, and we shall talk to you later. Have a good Christmas season as well. Over and out. Thanks for watching.